This is the new ASUS ROG Harp Ace 2, and it's kind of the same as the Harp Ace but with the spec bump. It has some noticeable changes. Now, if you want to know my thoughts about the Harp Ace shape, I won't talk too much about it, but you can watch my OG Harp Ace review. The key difference between the Harp Ace 2 and the Harp Ace shape though is that it's been kind of puffed up. It's a little bit more rounded, it's a little bit puffier, it's ever so slightly bigger because of that kind of puffiness, and the curves of the mouse kind of have a lot more flow and a much gentler angle to them. The OG Harp Ace kind of had very sharp, flat lines and harsh edges, which might feel weird on your hands. And the hump is ever so slightly taller on this now, so it fills out your palm ever so slightly more, with the transition from the clicks to the hump being a bit more rounded rather than a flat, sharp angle that was more like a Zowie FK. That does mean though that the click height of this mouse is not quite as low as the OG Harp Ace, but I think the slight changes overall make the shape feel a bit more cohesive, a little bit more organic, a little bit more natural, and it's going to be more intuitive and comfortable for most people. I do think though that I prefer the very lean, kind of squared off, skinny shape of the OG Harp Ace more, but I think if you like the Harp Ace, you would absolutely love the Harp Ace 2 shape as well, and then probably find it more comfortable in the long run thanks to the more smoothed out curved edges. What that means though is that for claw grip, fingertip and palm grip, my recommendations for the Harp Ace 2 stays the same. It's going to be a relaxed claw / normal claw grip mouse first and foremost, and I think it's going to be a good fit for hand sizes to claw grip, about 17-18 centimeters and longer. If you're trying to fingertip grip this mouse, I think your hands probably need to be at least 18 centimeters long, if not longer than that, to fingertip grip this comfortably. That slightly bigger hump might get in the way though relative to the OG Harp Ace if you're trying to fingertip grip it, and if you're trying to palm grip this mouse, I personally wouldn't recommend it too much. But if your hand size is kind of 19 centimeters and below, you probably can palm grip this, though I wouldn't say it's a good idea to. Now let's move on to other things like the weight. This thing has gotten ever so slightly lighter, which is good. These now have optical switches which feel okay. They don't feel out of this world. No real pre-travel, no real post-travel, very well executed. And the scroll wheel is crisp and sharp and notchy, which is great, with a rather nice light middle click. The thumb buttons have a little bit of sideways play to them, but generally quite thocky, quite nice. And the mouse feet is still the same as the OG ROG Harp Ace, nice and big, though comes with smaller feet alternatives. In terms of performance, you obviously get a spec bump to the latest and greatest ASUS sensor. This thing runs at 8000 Hz polling rate if you need it to, but it is one of the few like high-end big brand gaming mice that still has a tri-mode connectivity, so you can use it in Bluetooth with your MacBook if you're at school, for example. Just plug it in at home when it's time to game, which I still much prefer. Tracking is as you would expect, gaming performance is as you would expect. For me, I still think I prefer the slightly lower, leaner hump on the OG Harp Ace for my hand size and my personal preferences. I like an unobtrusive hump, but I can see a lot of people preferring this much more supportive feel. The weight balance is also really solid. It feels about 50-50, and the build quality is, I think, much better than the OG Harp Ace, which is always nice to see. I still have to say though that the coating on this is a little bit too slippery. It does come with grip tape, which I strongly recommend you use, but that does add weight to your gaming mouse, so I hope ASUS in future models of gaming mice can add kind of a glossy finish, or a finish that's similar to what you get on Pulsar or the G Pro Superlight or the Viper V3 Pro to give my fingers more grip. And last but not least, there is the price. This is a pretty pricey gaming mouse, and in 2025 where insane cheap gaming mice exist, I'm slightly concerned at its kind of efficacy, at its competitiveness in the market. It's not the most expensive mouse there is, but it's also not the cheapest, and my main problem is that it doesn't really have anything that puts it particularly out there to help it stand out like crazy as a product. It's a great product, mind you, but I think the only people that would really like this are the people that like kind of the Harp Ace shape a lot and just want an updated version. But I have to say it is a great product, and something that if you are okay with the price with is actually something that is going to give you a pretty darn good time.